Oops, you caught me with my hands up on the camera. Hello, this is Kathy Crow, and this is the Crow Cottage. I am so happy that you are joining me today. I am going to do the whale done, and that is supposed to be a pun. Oh, there it is over here. This stamp set has a cute little whale punch with it. Very cute. And I actually won't be demonstrating the punch too much because I've already kind of done my punches. I also want to show you all of the whale done. Well, not all of it because I've used so much of it. The whale done paper is really neat, and if you have it already, then you know how wonderful it is. I mean, it's just this is one of the best ones I think I've seen in a long time. But it has all the little whales in it that you can punch out with your punch, already done. So actually, I haven't stamped a lot with the stamp set yet because I'm using the whales that are already in the the designer series paper. So anyway, I am going to do a drawing here in just a second, as soon as kind of giving people a chance to jump on with me. And the drawing that I am doing is for last week's video, and that one was, I don't really remember. Boy, every week kind of just goes quickly into another right now in the summer mode. Andy, I just found the one I mailed, I thought, last week to you. So Andy, you will be getting it. It was ready to go, other than I was just waiting for it to be addressed. And never did it, apparently, and it got under a pile of things. So anyway, I did get a lot of cleaning up done in the thing. I took out some old stuff, put all my new stuff behind me, so I have it ready to be used. And I feel much more efficient now, and that's good. And I found a few things, like Andy's envelope that I thought I had mailed, so that worked out well for her and for me. Now today I'm going to do a bendy card. And a bendy card is a very cute little fun way to just make your cards a little more special when somebody gets it in the mail. Now, this one I did is a little bit bigger than your traditional one. It is still going to fit in a regular large envelope though. And it has a little tab. Now my little tab on my sample one, I didn't make it quite strong enough, so it works, but it's hard to get into its opening. So there's actually a little tab that goes in and closes it, and then it makes this little bendy fold like this. And then it's just really cute. You can put all kinds of little pop-up things, and then you can write inside, and it's just a fun little thing. I think I am going to do for my whale done class. I actually didn't include this in my picture for the class that I'm planning right now. It's going to be in, I think it's the class that I'm doing in August. But I am going to include this because it's pretty easy to make and really fun. And you also might not, unless you already have a template for that, you might not make it very often. You kind of need a template for that one. All right, so I am going to, even though I don't know that anyone's, oh, you know what? I totally forgot to put myself on Facebook. I'll have to get that later because I think I'm on. All right, so I'm going to do the drawing, and today is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It's time to do this, and we will see who wins the drawing for this week. And it is Freddie. Congratulations, Freddie. You won. So I'll put your name up here, and hopefully I will remember this time to mail it out instead of what I did with Andy. Kind of forgot. Ooh, that was loud. And I am going to move the camera down, and then I will have to get myself found online. That will take a minute, and I will chat while we do that. So just hang on. I'm going to lower my light off of my face because I want that on the desk. And we will see how well I can get this positioned without seeing it online. Because, of course, right now, I can't tell what's going on up there. All right, so as you can see, I have created kind of a haphazard, probably looks like to you, template for our bendy card. It's actually a very simple thing to make. I do have a cutting machine that cuts these things out, but I found when I cut the templates out that I have on that cutting machine, you know, it was just cutting cards that are pretty small. And with this design, it's really fun to do one that's large enough to really get a whole bunch of really good stuff on there. So I am going to, ooh, I think my camera's not, I'm not sure. Okay, if my camera is focused very well or not, but we will find out as we go. All right, so now that I've got that going, I can see your comments. This is my little host code over here. And if you order anything from me, $50 order and over and up, you get a free gift. I do have an online class. My class at the end of this month is only going to be July 31. I'm not going to do it here because I am actually going to be out of town. And so I will need to do... Well, hi, Aunt Connie. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. And don't forget, when you share, you get to be in the drawing. I already did the drawing, and Freddie, you won. Congratulations, Freddie. All right. I also do have that August 14 class coming up, and that one is going to be here. I'll be able to do that one here. All right, I did get a new cutting mat. If you noticed, I have a new, I wanted one that has angles because, so this is just like a, they were 50% off at the fabric store this week. Hi, Freddie, it's good to see you. And when I did my team meeting this last week and flubbed it miserably, but thankfully I have a really good teammates, Freddie and Diana. I think they totally solved my dilemma. I just haven't really messed with it. I got so frustrated with it. I didn't really want to go back to it right away. It was a really cool, you're welcome, Freddie. It was a fancy box thing, and oh, anyway, I can do it. It's going to take time, and I had already spent a lot of time on it, so I got frustrated. But I did realize when I went online and looked at pop-up cards, there's lots of things you can do with pop-ups, and there's some really cool videos out there, but some of them are better than others. I did realize, though, that one of the ones that I liked to watch was I think he was German or something, some guy, but he was speaking English, which is kind of important when you're doing something complicated. That was the problem with that other card, I think, for me. He had a mat board that he was working with that had the angles marked, and he just used those to do his folds. So I think that's going to become useful for me. So the template we're going to use today, if you are just joining me, I'm going to just show you again really quick. I'm doing a little bendy card with our Whale Done stamp set. It has this little tab, folds in here, and my tab isn't quite large enough to do what I want it to do, so it's snapping apart. I'm going to have to reinforce it and fix it, but that's partly because I've been playing with it a lot. It's been folded and shoved in there and whatnot a lot over the last one day. And but this is cute, isn't it? Oh, I just really like the fact that I can put little pop-up things in here. Now with this one, I was thinking, boy, what I need to do, let me go grab it really quick. I have some little wobbly springs. Let me see if I can find them quickly enough for me, because I thought I had them right here. Yes, I do. You hear the crackling of the plastic as I'm getting it out. You are ready for the box when, oh, good. Yes. Yeah, you guys, you and Diana ought to do a Zoom for us, because you could both do it. That'd be fantastic, because Zoom actually worked out really well. Now, you can get these little wobble things on Amazon, and when the card opens, it'll wobble. But also, if you're giving it to a child, they can make it wobble. I'm not sure if our whale's he's gonna be too small to really fit on there anyway, so I'm not going to be able to use the wobble. I could cut it, but the base is still going to show unless you had it underneath. You could do it under your DSP and poke it up through, but I think that's going to be more than I want to worry about today. So here is this template, and I am going to put this with my tutorial. If you subscribe to my newsletters, then you get to find tutorials every week. I do at least 2 or 3 of those. You want those, they are really cool. I think I might have put them on our team page when I got them. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is 6 inches this way, 5.5 inches here. I don't know, it's probably about 3 inches. It is just variable. It doesn't really matter. And then this is just a curve that you can see I just kind of, I didn't really freehand it. I used my other template and, you know, just drew on it. But it doesn't really matter what the shape is, because when you fold it, you're going to have other things sticking up on it. It just needs to be a smooth curve. It does not have to be, it could be a deeper curve, or it could be even straight across. I just find a curve works best. And then these are little folds. This is going to be my tab, and I'm still thinking, wow, that tab is not very big. So I'm going to actually make that tab a little bit bigger. Okay, and oh, I just cut that, and I actually wanted to keep it. What a dope. I think I might have to redo my whole template here, because I really need those to, well, I can still do it. It's just this template, what I wanted it to do, now that I've trimmed it there, I really need this to be a notch, so that you're folding this, and then you can shove it in, the notch that you make in your card, and then you can fold them out so that it'll stick. But I'm gonna kind of want to reinforce that, because if it gets folded very often, it definitely starts to wear away. So anyway, I'm gonna try to just cut this. Oh, I'm cutting my template. What an idiot. Actually, I am gonna cut my template, because I kind of need to use it as a template on my card. I'm just showing you. I think I already took a picture of this. I hope I did. I meant to, because it's going on my instructional thing, my link for my tutorial. So I do think I took a picture of this already. I had it written out here just mainly for that. Okay, now you can, if you want a shorter side, you know, instead of this longer width or wider or taller, however you want to say it, fold. If you want a shorter one, you can always just do the same thing over here. And you can cut across here, cut a curve here, and you can use this side as a second bendy card. It actually works really well that way. All right, so I did one in pencil, but I decided, you know what, I really want that to be taller. And since we're going to be covering this all up with designer series paper, I can just use this side, because you can see I made it taller, because I just thought, oh, I kind of want, I don't know, I think I want it a little bit taller than the original one that I did. And you can see this is even a tiny bit bigger. I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to. I kind of hate to put my camera down too low, because then, even though you might be able to see some things better, you might lose some other. Okay, here we go. Now let's not cut those the way I did. So you just can take your template. You can, the one that I put up there, you can just print it off on some cardstock, and then you can just copy your lines, and you can use a cutting board and get those really nice and straight. You do not need to follow my lines, obviously. Okay, and this time, let's make sure I'm still in the shot here. This time I want to make sure I cut, I'm folding here and cutting here. So So hopefully I'll remember that this time. Okay. So you get to watch me cut again. So I want those to be, I'm actually gonna make them a little bit wider. You can see this is not like a science here. You can be off by much if you choose to be. And I'm gonna try to cut on the other side of my line so that I don't see, because you might see the top of this line, because I am putting DSP over this, but the border is still probably gonna get shown. So this card I actually want, let's use my cutting board on that top. I do want that to be straight. Oh, hi, Andy. It's nice to see you. So, Andy, I found something. Thank you for sharing, ladies. Andy won the drawing last week. And, Andy, I still haven't mailed this. I found it in my stash of stuff when I was cleaning. I got all my new stuff now behind me. And I moved my most of the retired stuff, moved it out. And then, yeah, found that wonderful thing. So this is Balmy Blue. Most of our whale done paper is gonna be, you know, fitting better with pool party and those things, but I'm gonna use Balmy Blue. All right, pencil. I could just flip it over and use that side, but on the other hand, the back side is going to show. So we'll just remove this pencil line. That's really the only one that matters. And then I did take in my template that, again, you can download it when you subscribe to my newsletter, and you can get these things. You're gonna want to just cut, you know, this line, cut right through, and I've already marked where it goes. That's where this tab is going, but I kind of adjusted. If you were watching a minute ago, I kind of adjusted just now what I was doing. So I am going to look at where I've actually got my little tab going, and I'm going to extend it because I decided I want to make it bigger just to make sure that it's holding my card better. Okay, and that actually is going to fold up to about there. And you do want to take your cutting board and do a score line right here where this cut is. So let's do that while I'm talking about it. Are you guys all ready for that mini catalog? It's been pretty entertaining. I don't think I've actually used any of my stuff, and I'm not going to for a while because I've got a lot of other things going on right now. And there we go. So now we've got a fold. I don't really need to worry about it folding too much because I actually just want it to bend. But because I didn't do that right away, this is what happened. And if you do your score line before you try to fold, you won't have that problem. Like I just did. You're welcome. Lucky day? That's good. It's always nice to have a lucky day. Did you ever play the game of life? Do they even have the game of life anymore? There's so many things that are not allowed anymore that if they have, it's probably an unidentifiable game of life, I bet. Boy, in today's world, ladies, if we could have if we were allowed to have a sense of humor, there are so many really super funny things you could do with a game of life to make it politically correct. Now that would be a riot. I think I would enjoy that a lot. My kids would have enjoyed it too. All right, now that is done. So let me get my card up here so I can see what the heck I'm doing because I kind of forget. As you're gonna see, this is just gonna go together very quickly because our DSP is so wonderful. So I'm just gonna cut a piece I better cut this line with an X-Acto knife. I'm just gonna cut this little slot in here. And I might be making it kind of big, I hope not. Let me see if that went through. It did. This is a nice new X-Acto blade. So I'm just going to cut that line and stick this aside. And I'm not even really sure what my dimensions are here, so I'm just going to eyeball it and cut as we go. Let's see. Maybe I should use a ruler. This is kind of what got me into trouble when I was doing my class and couldn't complete my project for my team because of my inability to do math well. I believe, I do suspect that probably was my problem, but since I have math experts on my team, they've solved it for me, so I'm so grateful. All right, so we are gonna do, that would leave me with a little more of a border if I did it at 5 inches. So I'm gonna go to 5 1/8 inch, okay? So 5 1/8 of an inch there. And for this one, let's do it, let's do it at 5 3/4. You might work at 5 3/4. Okay. So we'll go 5 1/8 this direction. And for me, the only thing is remembering which way is my seaweed going. I want to make sure it's going in the direction that I want it to. So 5 1/8 that way, and then 5 3/4 this way. And I don't think it's going to matter whether I cut. It's a little lighter on the top, so I think I'll cut the bottom off that's darker, although it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, and then that is going right on top of there. This, when you do cards with your designer series paper, whether you are making your designer series paper yourself or not, it goes really fast. Do you like this set, Andy? I'm so glad. Yeah, there's just, every page is wonderful. Oh, thank you, Freddie. I'm glad you didn't think it was my fault. I do think it was, actually, but you're very kind. Now, this is an old glue bottle. As you can see, it's getting very gummy and kind of yucky looking as well. Sorry about that. I do have other ones over there. If it gives up on me, I can grab a new one, because I think it is getting near the end. Maybe I should just grab a new one. Let's do that. This one's looking a little bit shabby too, and I haven't opened it in a long time. Wow, that's got some goo on there too, but that was stopping it nicely. It's probably gonna gush now. Oops. It's like this is like W.C. Fields. Did you ever see those W.C. Fields, the dentist? W.C. Fields and when he was the dentist. Oh, it's hilarious, ladies. If you do not know W.C. Fields and you just know him as a caricature and a picture, and you never watched any of the, please go to YouTube. Probably they're all on YouTube. And type in W.C. Fields, the dentist, and watch that whole short. I probably is an hour long. I actually think it's part of a bigger movie that he did, and it's so funny. The whole movie's hilarious. But anyway, he does the whole shtick on the golf course where he eats a pie or something and he can't get. It's hilarious. You just got to see it. Okay, so you just put your little DSP on there. Center that. Okay, now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife on the back side now and just try to follow along. The trick is trying to follow along on that line. Did I manage to? I think so. Yes, I did. Very good. Okay, now let's hope my tab will fit in there, and if it doesn't, I will just trim my tab down. All right, now this line is going to be covered, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I can see my ink right there. I kind of wanted to cover it. We'll see if I can get it covered with my DSP. So I'm going to use, I've already used this a lot, all of these things. I've got tons of it. You've got, with this paper, you've got all sorts of really cool underwater scenes. And I think we will use this one. Okay, now I could extend it all the way over, but I think what I might do, it might mess with my fold and all, and it'll come undone, and I don't know. I'm just not sure that that will work. So I'm not going to worry about that. I am going to just go ahead and stick it right almost to the fold line instead. And I'm just going to glue it on. I do need to get my dimension here and cut off the edge. And I think what I might do, just for making it look, I don't know, wonder if I should. I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to bring it over a little bit. I might do that and trim it on this side. Oh, that's not going to be big and long enough. Because what I was thinking is I could use my scissors and just cut out my little coral. Now, on your stamp set, you do have a coral. It's smaller, and it isn't done for me already. So that was the thing that I was thinking, maybe I'll use this instead today. I did do the other one, but let me see here. Do I want that one? No, that one can be on the front. So we will go ahead and use this just to make it simpler. It matches up better, but I'm still going to leave a gap because otherwise it's just not going to fold nicely. So let's see how much we want here. We want this to be about 5 and just shy of 1/4. Let's see if I do it. Let's do 5 1/8 just to make it simpler for me. And we'll do this side over here, 5 1/8. Now, isn't that pretty? Love that side too. It's gorgeous. Ooh, that seems short. I'm gonna just, I don't want to screw it up, so I'm gonna remeasure. Measure twice, remember, just to make sure. Okay, 5 1/8. Well, let's go 5 1/4 because I'd rather trim off and not rather than. Oh, you are checking out the WC. Oh yeah, you will love it. Oh, Tim Conway, he was so funny too. So funny. Remember those days. Okay, we're going just shy of 5 1/4. Yeah, things were a lot simpler. You could be humorous without having to offend or without worry of offending as many people. I'm sure you did offend. I'm sure comedians offended people then too, but we all had the sense to just keep our big mouths shut about it because we wanted to enjoy life, and it worked out well. All right, so I am going to just glue this on, and then I will use my scissors on the opposite side of this card to just trim the sides up. And yeah, since I'm doing that, I'm going to put this here. Oh, glue, come on. My goodness, what? Am I running out of all glue, or is it just already stopped up? My goodness. Thought I had it in my jar. I must not have. All right, here's another one. I've got an abundance of glue. There we go. Maybe I put the wrong one away. I don't know. Okay, so put this here and there, but I'm not sure how far it goes up, so I want to put this here. I do want it to be like right at the top, and I should have a sponge out here. Freddie, you do a sponge sometimes and put your glue on there, I think, and that's very smart. Then I wouldn't be getting glue where I don't want it, which does happen at times. Okay, I'm going to switch that glue out with that glue. No, there's no wisdom here, just probably a lot of sarcasm. I do have some good Babylon bees for you guys today. Speaking, though, before I get to that, speaking of being Babylon bee and its goofy headlines, they had some really good ones, though. You'll really like them. Yeah, today I went out on my bike, had a nice bike ride already today, and I saw, Andy, you will like this since you're a cat lover. I saw a black cat, pretty good sized one, and it was like a Black Panther. It was stretched full length, looking into its master's house, into their big picture window in the front yard. Looking in like, let me in, I want to come in, and they aren't letting me in, they're so mean to me. It was very cute. Okay, so then you're just going to trim this as close as you can to your line. If you trim some of your cardstock off, it's going to be fine. It doesn't really matter at all. Oops, it's just nice to get it, you know, smooth, but if you don't get it very smooth, like I just didn't, then that is going to determine the placement of your little whales, because you'll want to cover that up. Now, I'm not going to use this scrap, but if you had one of those whole sheets, you would have possibly another design on the top, because some of those are coming double-sided. So there's a design on this side, and that's why this top is cut this way, is I already have used this side of that. Now, this one's going to go on the front. Okay, so I decided earlier what that dimension was, but I don't trust the outside to be the same as the inside. So, because I want it to go all the way to the edge. So we're going to go the whole 5 1/4 this time. Instead of just shy of it, we're going to go the whole 5 1/4. So that cat was really cute, but just, you know, stretched way up as far as he possibly could get. It was really fun looking at. Ooh, that's going to cut off my coral. I really like that coral. I kind of wanted to trim that so that it was, but it's not going to work out. And what I want to do with that is not working anyway. So let's just give that dream up. I've used up, I think, all of this paper, but maybe not. There might be some of it in there still, and I could, you know, make the coral with that stamp, but it's not going to be the same size. This one's the size I want. All right, so we will put the glue on here. Oh, so here are your whales. So on this side are your whales. So before I do anything, I am not going to actually punch, because obviously the whales could punch would be down too low. But you're going to want to make sure you don't use up all of your seaside scenes before you have punched out a few of these little whales. And then I also I fussy cut all of my little tiny whales on the sheets that I've used some of it. I fussy cut those little guys out, and that's what I'm using on all of these cards. They're so cute. So you just don't even have to use your stamp, and I toyed with the idea of not getting the stamp set and just using the paper. But the difference is that I really wanted the little seahorse, and I really wanted this "you're kind of a big deal." That goes really well. And I also wanted the whale word, because I'm using that today. Oops, what happened there? Oh, that's a little extra thing I tucked on there. I used it to go with my, this is the Hello, I Say Hello. Now, this is a retired stamp set, but I couldn't find another hello there, and I wanted it to be big. So I've got whale hello there. It's supposed to be a pun on the word well, obviously. And yeah, so that's why I went ahead and did that stamp set. It's puns are one of those things that either love or hate. Some people really hate them, so I do not use them too often, just because I don't want to annoy people with my card. Some people really don't like puns, you know, but then some people don't like a lot of things, so that's just the way that goes. But usually anybody who gets a card, even if they're not fond of the pun, would probably not feel too bad about it anyway, right? I would suspect they'd be fine with it. But yeah, you know what, I'm kind of a literal person, though I must have a little bit of, if I had been born in a different time, they probably would have been determined that I was slightly autistic, because I don't like to be touched or messed with too much, and I don't mind being alone, and I'm very literal, so I don't use puns and things like that too much, unless it is just for, you know, joke. But it's not the way my brain goes. I'm not. Jeff's the one that's kind of more goofy. Like, I think he's not minded the whole mask thing as much as I have, because he just doesn't mind looking goofy. I feel like I look pretty goofy out in public. I feel kind of like a sheepdog with a sweater on in July, you know, come on. But anyway, I'm wearing the mask anyway, because that's our local law right now, and it is in a whole lot of the country too. You'd have to go pretty far. Now see here, I've got some cute little whales. I don't want to mess those up. So when I cut, I'm going to be careful not to not to mess them up, because they'll be cute on a card. I could even use it on this card, even though that one's really close to his tail. Still gonna save that. That'll be cute. Put you aside and use you. All right, so we are almost done, if you can believe it already. You're very literal too. Andy, I believe you like puns. I'll bet you have a whole bunch. Do you know of a really good pun out there? All right. Let me see here. What have I got? What am I missing? Ah, you're right there. Got to do my... Before I get going on any of the embellishing with all of those things, I need to do this stamp. So we'll just do the hello there first. I really like this little hello there. It's cute. It does fit in those dies. You know, we have the little stitch squares and all, and you can find one that fits. It's photopolymer. I'm sorry that it's retired, so you wouldn't be able to get it right now, but what is this? A list I found here. Oh, yes. Where did this come from? Oh, all right. I'm finding things as I go here on my desk. All right. Okay, now back to cards. Pretty Peacock is the color I use. Oh, hi, Michelle. How are you? It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right. On Babylon Bee, they had cities were protecting. This is an old one. Cities are protecting statues by disguising them as Karl Marx. Did I do that one last week? Seems like maybe I did that one already. Oh, I want to make sure my ink is on there very well. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. They were just tearing down statues. They didn't even care what there's a statue out. There's a statue over there on, 6th and Broadway. So they like a old Warner Brothers cartoon, in a big bunch, would just head over there in a big crowd and go tear down the statues. And the humorous part about it, humorous in a sad way, not really humorous, but the poor police who would like to be able to stop the whole charade, told by their upper echelon types that they have to stand by and watch. Oh my goodness, can you imagine what that must be like for them? Just horrific. Oh, that's the wrong case. I don't want that. So, all right. Southern Baptist Convention is going to remove Southern from its name, so it is not a trigger name. And that's a joke, ladies. That's just a joke. But I wouldn't be at all surprised. So today, the Washington Redskins are the next group to fold, and it's so funny that people get all riled up. But most of us realized when we were young that it is really true about the sticks and stones thing, and you just get over it. And you teach your children to not be so sensitive, because we would like them to have a happy life, right? So now we're going to get our little whale done. Whale done. Whales would be offended at my stamp, my misappropriation of their name. Now I'm not doing the done and the exclamation point. I'm just getting the whale part. Hopefully, if I do that well, then I don't have to clean that stamp at all, other than maybe this edge that I got there. All right, and with statues gone, pigeons are now forced to poop on the rioters. Now, those are good. So if I did them last week already, sorry you got them again, but they were funny. All right, now we've got our little whale. Isn't that cute? You do need your little pen. That's why I have it out here, to put in your comma. It's just not going to be as funny if you don't put in your little comma. And I did put a little circle on there, but I don't think I like it. So maybe without the circle. All right. That's all I need for my ink. I'm done with that. And let's make sure I've cleaned that thoroughly. It doesn't look quite clean. Now I put that stamp away. I did see that there was that Trump was wearing a mask, and I suppose that should make some people feel happy. I don't know if it does or not. It doesn't have anything to do with me. He can wear a mask or not. I really have no opinion about masks, actually, as far as other people wearing them. I know how I feel about wearing them, but as far as, you know, anyone else wearing them, you are well and good to do so. So I could care less if he is wearing a mask or not. But I did see on Babylon Bee that the media now, because Trump is wearing a mask, are now questioning the effectiveness of the mask. That's a good one, because you would think they would be, right? Well, maybe they won't. We'll see. Maybe they won't. Jeff is going to be going with our youth group later this week to a really nice cabin. We've got a wonderful family, part of our church, who have this really nice cabin that they very graciously have offered to let our teens have a retreat at, because of course all of the church camps have had to close for the summer. They are not going to be open. I mean, I can't imagine a church camp anywhere being open. So let me find my dimensionals. We're going to need an abundance of those. All right, now back to that wobbly thing. Sure would have liked to have had that. I think a wobbly whale on here would have been really cute. You went to EWU and we're called the Savages. Oh my goodness, how inappropriate. The Savages should actually be, he had it on when we went to the hospital. Oh, it's the law. Well, yeah, actually it is the law. Is that where he was? Oh, good. Well, you know what? Again, you can wear them wherever you want to. I have no opinion, no quarrel with them, actually, as far as other people wearing them. I do have a quarrel with me wearing them, but I'm happily doing it now because I would rather do that than not shop, and that would be my option. I want to see really quick before I get all of my guys on there, all my little whale guys, whether this is going to fit in my slot. This is sort of an important point. At this point, I can take my little X-Acto blade and expand my cut if need be. And I'm thinking I might need to, so let's make sure it's the same width as my tab. And I think it is now. And I might have to make an actual, you know, little double cut there just to give me more space, but I'm kind of hoping not, because if I don't have to do that, it'll just hold a little bit better. But it does take some jimmying if you don't. Boy, I hope nobody has a problem with the name Jimmy. We actually have, Jeff's dad was named Jimmy, and his brother was named Jimmy. So I know they would not have had trouble with anyone using the name Jimmy. I'm not sure how that little saying got into being about jimmying something into place. There are all kinds of really interesting things about language. Since we speak English, I'm going to just say the English language. I think we probably have more of those kinds of idioms and whatnot than other languages, but that's just because I don't really speak. I'm not fluent in anything else. Okay, there we go. So you can see it fits really well, and you really don't even need those at first. But after it's been done and done and done, then it starts to flop out, and that's when you're going to be happy to have included the little tabs. Now, my little tabs here are quite long, so I'm going to cut those down a bit. They don't need to actually be very long. I just want to make sure they're long enough. Okay. Cute, cute. Good for you, Michelle. You're so sensitive, huh? Not sensitive. Our society is so sensitive. It is. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. I hope you're enjoying the day. All right, so we will just, ooh, I just tore it a little bit. This is the problem when you start monkeying with it. I just tore it a tiny bit, but because it has pattern, it's not going to matter. Now we can get our little guys on. We've got an abundance, so we're gonna put a little whale up here. And I actually wanted to, you'll see your little whales, they come on that DSP, have a variety of colors. There's this, you know, got a little bit more of a blackberry-ish cast to him, so we're not going to use him. There's the more gray one, and there's the more blue one. So that's the one I want. Some of them are bigger than others. That's why I've wanted to, you can punch the big one out, but there's this little medium-sized guy, and then there's the littler tiny, it's sort of like the three bears. And then you've got the wee little baby whale. Oh, so cute. So anyway, we'll just put some dimensionals on there and get those going. You know, I did see also on Babylon Bee that Bible experts, and I suspect some science has been in play on this because it sounds more like their style, but Bible experts, it says, have determined that Goliath died of coronavirus. And that would include, you know, maybe all of his brothers and everything too. If they thought that Goliath had died, then they could just include, they could include all of his brothers in the numbers too and make those numbers look even more horrific. And I bet they would be happy to do so. It says that Democrats call for warning labels. This is a really good one. You know, those warning labels, we take those really seriously, don't we? You know, all the people who smoke, I know they read those warning labels all the time. You know, they're really worried about getting stuff. You know, and those of us like Michelle might be wishing they had read the warning labels, but I don't think they do. But just in case someone wants to, this is a joke, ladies. Democrats call for warning labels. If a company's CEO votes Republican, then the product should have to say, you know, warning, you are supporting a nut of some kind. Okay. Atheists launch a No Lives Matter slogan. I thought that was good because, you know, it fits for, and it doesn't that fit for an atheist? Now, if you are an atheist, you can laugh, I hope. I hope you have a sense of humor and you can laugh. Okay, so we are going to put this whale here, but I forgot, just because I can, I cut out this little coral, and I cut out some seaweed to go on the bottom. So let's look and see what we've got left, because I've used up so much of my paper. I'm really not sure if I have any of that kind left anymore to cut up. Last night I made a bunch of cards. Oh, I have that, but I kind of hate to use one of those whole sheets up. Not that one. The one I'm looking for anyway is not this, and I don't really want that, the coral. I want the white coral. Now I could just stamp the seaweed. They have some seaweed, and I could stamp it and cut it, but why would I do that if I can just cut some? You know what? I can't cut it because I don't have it. I do have this little piece. Let's use that. All right. So, do I want to use it? It's one is hardly worth it. I don't think so. I need the whole schmo. I did put this cover here just so that it would kind of blend in because I had done that there, but it's not necessary. And you can see that every time I fold it up, it's not sticking very well. And I know I glued it with my glue. I'd have to glue it again to get that to stay, and I will before I actually send it, but it's not necessary. It looks perfectly fine like this too, so it actually gives me a little more room. I do want to save some room for writing. I don't want to write on my tag. I can write up here, but I want a little room for writing here too, so this, you know, will just give me a way to save some space for writing. Oh, Andy, you're so funny. All you have to do, Andy, if you do Facebook Live, is just go to Babylon Bee, like, you know, 10, 15 minutes before you go on, and just take the first 10 things they have on there. It's a riot. Now, I do have to say, there are a lot of them on there that are, I don't even think they're funny, and I'm conservative, and I don't even think they're funny. And it's not that they're just too, you know, there's a trick. If any of you are old enough to have loved Johnny Carson, I used to stay up late watching the Late Show. This is when I was 10. I was yes, white privileged. My mother was divorced, had not a lot of money, but one of my birthday or Christmas gifts one year, and I'm sure she saved up for years to get this for me, you know, because it's not the kind of thing you would get your child rarely. I had a little black and white, about this big. The screen was about this big TV. Of course, the whole thing was like giant, but the screen was this big. I had a little black and white TV in my room. I had my own TV. Probably she did it just because she was so sick and tired of hearing us fight and whine, because Catherine, which is what I would be called when I was being unpleasant, Catherine has to have her own way and is making a big fuss about what we're watching on TV. And my brother and sister, who are 8 and 10 years older than me, you know, old enough to not probably be watching as much TV as I was, would just, you know, they would been, I thought I was giving in to them all the time. Sure, they thought I was getting my way all the time. And so my mother bought me my own TV so she didn't have to hear me whining about it. I'm sure is how that all went. I don't know. I never did ask her. I should have asked her before she passed away. All right, so, well, hello there. This is going to be such a cute little birthday card for somebody. The reason I really like this set is I am always on the lookout for a juvenile, a good juvenile, however you want to pronounce it, stamp set. I need them to be a perfect sets for a boy the age of 11 or, yeah, let's say 10 or 11. By the time he's 12, he's not going to want animals, you know, in his birthday card, I suspect, unless he's unusually precocious and doesn't mind such things, science-y or something. But I just have a hard time finding juvenile type stamp sets for boys. And they have to be cute enough that I can also give them to a girl, because I am not going to have just a whole bunch of stamp sets for boys. I'm going to use my stamp sets for both genders. So, anyway, this stamp set fills the bill, I think, for any boy that's young. It wouldn't be great maybe for an older one. Now, the other thing I love about it is this turtle. This little turtle. Oh, isn't he cute? Oh, you gotta see him better. Isn't he cute? He's looking right at you saying, aren't I so cute? And so you can stick him with any sentiment and he's perfect. Now, if he wasn't so out of scale with my whales, I'd have him here, but I'm saving him for another card. But he is awfully cute. Maybe I'll put him, oh, I did put him on the front. I'm putting him on the front right there. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see when we get to that part. I do want one more little tiny one right here, if I can find it. If not, then we're moving on. I do see one, but maybe that'll be too much. I don't know. I kind of liked it, though. Yeah, maybe not. We'll leave that one off. I think that's too much. So now we're going to put a little whale on the inside here, or on this side. This side, yeah. I'm just doing the whales on this side, but before I do him, I'm going to put my turtles on, because one of the turtles I want to kind of cover up the back side of my whale, and I need the whale that has this color water on it, and I'm not thrilled that there's this on it, but that's the way it is. Depending on which DSP you cut your whales from, you see, you have different color backings. So, well, I thought I should have used him here, but I didn't, so we're going to use this guy here. Probably offensive. Yeah, black and white probably is pretty good. Yeah, Johnny Carson was really funny. He had the best delivery. His delivery was every bit as good as Jack Benny, and that's saying a lot. Now, if you do not know Jack Benny, again, go to Google. Not a variety show or his movies. His movies were good, but not as good as he was. So, go to YouTube and find his half-hour TV show with him and Rochester. And oh man, you know, buy the set, because it's probably not even allowed anymore. Although Rochester was actually smarter than Jack Benny. That was in the day when you were allowed to be, you know, do whatever you wanted to. And Jack Benny was a very respectful person, I think, of people. So they did not have a typical black stereotype going, and Rochester was smarter than, well, if not smarter, he was more savvy, and in some cases more smarter. Just out. He wasn't anyway. So he made a lot of money on the whole deal too. You got to remember, folks, there was a lot of advantage to the stereotype because it made people a lot of money. And those people happen to be people of color. All right, so we are going to put this little guy going up right there. Okay, and I did also see that on Babylon Bee, this is a really good one, but you have to go to the actual website to see it, to get the full effect, that there was some defacing. There was some defacing to the Black Lives Matter mural in New York City. If you can believe it, there was some defacing of it. Someone was captured on closed captioning, a closed caption video, you know, like from across the street. Somebody was captured. A picture, it looked, you know, possibly like a look-alike, a Trump look-alike, and they were using orange on the. They put all orange lives matter on it. Now, wouldn't that be good? I would like to see that one. All orange lives matter. I think we could all agree on that one. All right, now I got that little turtle a little close, but that's okay. He's gonna have to go there anyway. We'll just have him sticking his head up more, and he's a little on top of that turtle. All right, so I am still going to put my favorite one down here, and he is green. So because he's green, he kind of blends in, and he's so super cute that I usually put him on a tag. When I've been doing him, I've been putting him on a tag so he stands out, you know, really well. But I'll put him down here on top of these brown corally things when I get to it. Now I want to show you, just so that you don't see all of this on the inside, this is where you get your little whale and you disguise it a little bit. Now on this card, I was, you know, you're still going to have some of it, but the color is close enough to these little toadstool coral things down here that since I don't know anything about sea biology, I have don't know the name of. Don't even know what it is, but it's close in color. So you like that one, Freddie? That's good. I got an invitation to the, they said, my Republican buddies that send me emails regularly, they can't believe I haven't accepted my invitation yet to the convention. I'm thinking, well, I'm sorry, I've given you guys a ton of money already, and I am not going to spend the money to come to the convention. I'm really sorry. Oh, that's the blue one. I don't want to use that one. No. This one. This one's the one I want. So they are going to send me another email, I'm sure tomorrow, about how disappointed they are that I still haven't accepted my invitation to the convention. Hey, I would love to go to the convention. It'd be great, but I don't have the money to spend on flights to to Florida, although it would be nice to see you, Freddie. That'd be great, but you're not over there by the convention anyway, so that wouldn't do any of us any good. All right, so now that covers that, and you can see it a little, but it's because it's that blue color, not much. Oh, his tail's kind of over my words. I'll just bend his tail down. That's the thing about this. You can just, if you haven't shoved it on there too hard yet, you might even be able to move it. As long as I cover that, I can still move it over just a little bit. There we go. That's better. Now his tail's in place. And what else did I put? Just one whale. But because I have it, I am going to stick one more here. And then we will be done with that inside part. Let's put you like that. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we'll bend you, stick you in there. You can see how that's kind of getting bent. You don't want to do this too many times before you actually send it to anyone, because every time you bend it. Now, we could put a reinforcement on it, and that would be smart. What kind of a reinforcement, though? It can't make it too fat, or it makes it very hard to go through. I'm thinking something plasticky that's not going to, it's the fold, you know, that's causing the problem. So you can tell me if you think of something. Now, this guy, I put it a little too far in. So when you look at my template, this is, it's fine, you know, it's fine, but it's just bending a little more than I want. So when you get my template, if you want to use it, just move this guy a smidgen over this way so that it's not bending quite that much. It should have been over here. This is why you want to watch the video, just because you get the just because you're getting my newsletter and those tutorials does not mean that they're very good, right? And it helps to watch the video, and it helps to have the tutorial too. Boy, that's not going on there very well. All right, the last one. Oh, Linda, it's good to see you. So window sheeting. Oh yeah, there you go, Freddie. But would it fold? It's thin enough. That would be good. So window sheeting would probably be really good. All right, here's another one. This is one of my last ones, okay, because we are almost done. Youth leader still can't hear if everyone is having a good time. Have you ever been at a school where the counselor is not, I don't know, he's just not well loved enough, I guess, by the staff, that he has to be reinforced so much by having those kids shout. Yes, we're having a great, has to have them shout over and over and over again. Anyway, so I thought that one was funny. As well as the worship team that warms up for 42 hours with smoke on the water. Now that would be funny. I think that would be very funny. So that was our whale done card, the bendy card. Make sure as I swing you up and we hear the clock chiming, we'll see how red my face got this time. It's warm in here. It's pretty warm. Hey, I got some new hairspray. It's looking like it's holding a little bit better. It's awesome. Because my hair is just not holding a curl. It's worse and worse. And it's not even humid here. This is dry. You know, it should be good. All right, so yeah, it's warm. I'm gonna have to, before the summer's over, you're gonna have to hear the whir of the little desk fan I've got going so that I can keep cool while I'm doing this. The mini catalog, don't forget to get your stuff. There's always something going on back order and something not available and something coming in that wasn't available. That's just gonna be happening. So if there's anything that you want, and you're able to order immediately. If you order $50 or more from me, then I will send you a little gift, and I appreciate that very much. Again, my classes, don't forget, I have this month's class going to be online only, but you can get it to go. What's today? Yeah, you can still do it. You'd have to do it pretty quick, though. Yeah, I couldn't see what that was. Oh well, anyway, I'm getting distracted here by the comments. So anyhow, but that's because I'm going out of town. And in August, though, we'll be back here, and it's fine. If you are sensitive about your health concerns, because you need to be, I actually am very sympathetic to that. And we can do it outside if we had to. It's just that we couldn't if it was a windy day. And I think a better option might be that you would get it to go. If you're going to be concerned about being within a 6-foot distance, even wearing a mask with us, then I wouldn't come, because our house is really small and I can seat people 6 feet apart. That isn't the issue. I can seat them 6 feet apart, but with a mask and with 6 feet, it's still, I'm going to be honest with you and say it means diddly squat. If one of us had coronavirus, actually, the mask and the 6 feet wouldn't make a hill of beans. If you came to our house and were with us for the 2 hours crafting, getting sweaty, changing, sharing all of the supplies, we will transfer germs. We will. And it doesn't really matter how often you washed your hands or anything else. It's just a matter of human contact and the way germs are transmissible, transmitted. That was the word I was looking for. So it is not a sterile environment, and there's no way I can create a sterile environment. And you coming in would also, make it not sterile. So, if that is a concern for you, you are not going to want to actually attend a class here, and I understand that. But we do have our online option, and I'm going to videotape it as though you're here, and then you can enjoy doing it with us all on your own. So all of that should be on Square, and you can go to my website to click on that, and I think that's the only way I can do it, because I can't share my Square thing. I don't know. Stampin' Up might be changing their policies, but as of now, I haven't really heard, and I am not too concerned about it. Anybody who really wants a class can go to my website, click that link. It takes you to my Square site, and then you can purchase the class, and it works out great. Oh, you went back to work today? Awesome. That's good news, isn't it? Very good news. I do think that because President Trump is promoting schools to be reopened, that is a definite. Our Governor Inslee is a little pharaoh saying, "Oh no," I'm sure they'll double down on not opening school here. So it's like, well, whatever. You get what you get. All right, 2 days a week at work and 2 days at home. That's actually a pretty good shift. That sounds good. That sounds very doable, right? All right, but school will open in some manner. It will, and there are enough kids that really need to be at the building whose parents are going nuts, that there will be some buildings open for some, I suspect. So we'll just see how they work it all out. They're still thinking about it. All right, you have a wonderful day. It is good. The weather's good. Things are going well. I know that they are still rioting in different places, but if you watch the regular news, you would think it had ended. So if you just stay like me in your own little environment and pray and trust God, then you are going to be happy and content, because really, for all of us, things are going really well. And if you don't seek out the trouble, it won't find you. Most of us really just want to enjoy life, and we like each other pretty well. So I hope things are going well for you. Hope your health is holding up well. And thank you for all those hearts, you guys. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next week, I guess. All right? Bye-bye.